You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
Hey, happy birthday, Pat Benatar. You?
Yeah.
Love Pat Benatar.
I do too.
Patricia May Andrzejewski.
Oh.
Benatar sounds a lot cleaner.
Really, her birth name, her father's name, Andrzejew Ski.
Yikes.
Yes.
So, is
German.
that... I don't think so.
It's not. It's Polish.
Polish?
Not everything with a ski is Polish.
Could
Pretty
be
much
Russian.
everything with a ski is Polish.
What is it? You just think because I'm Polish, right? And now you're mocking me? And
No.
His real name is Dan Farris.
joke. Why do Polacks names end with ski? Because they can't spell toboggan.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, I want reparations. I grew up with that stuff.
Dan Farris.
Pat now, she still tours, still does stuff.
Yeah,
She's
we just
68
saw her.
today.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Living happily in Los Angeles with her longtime husband and guitarist,
Yeah.
Nick Giraldo.
Yeah, they work together, just like my wife and I.
Not just like us. They have money.
And he has talent. I don't have that. So.
George Foreman is 73 today.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you picture George Foreman.
All of his kids are named George Foreman, too.
He's got like five sons
So
named
weird.
George. Easy to remember, though.
That's true.
When
Get
I
in
have
here.
more kids, I'm just naming them all Dan. 'Cause it just keeps
Dan
it
Farris,
simpler.
the third.
Yeah, I'd like to have 6, 7 more kids. George is 73, and when you think about it, he's just this big, lovable, want to buy a grill,
Yeah.
But if you were around in the day, which I was, when he picked up the gold in the Olympics for boxing, he was really something else.
Oh, yeah.
He'd go on from the Olympics to be world heavyweight champ, 73, 74, and then again in 1995, which was really kind of a fluke. But there you go. And Heidi, this one's for you.
Okay.
Do you think I'm sexy? Rod Stewart's rocking a pair of 7s today.
I like Rod.
Rod Stewart.
I really
He's
do.
been getting it done a long time, too.
Yeah.
Great American Songbook is my favorite, even
Me
though
too.
that's not the music we play. It's just really cool to hear him singing the standards.
Yeah.
He's got such a great voice for
fantastic.
it.
I think one of my favorite Stewart collaborations, and he toured the Faces and whatnot. Jeff Beck was his guitarist.
Yeah.
And they were
Okay.
falling
Yeah.
out. And then years later, they got back together, did a little number called "People Get Ready."
Yeah, that's
which
a
is
great
an amazing
song.
tune.
Great song.
It
We're going to
was.
get that.
Speaking of songs and how you get them, it was this day in 1949. RCA introduces the U.S. to a cool little thing called the 45 RPM record.
Ah,
How
I
about
had a
that?
lot of those.
Yeah, you could download your own singles. It's a new thing. Speaking of which, 1967, PBS, Public Broadcasts, National Education Television Network, begins as a 70-station network.
Oh, yeah.
Do we know how many they have now?
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I think just state of South Dakota has at least half a dozen affiliates now. Yeah, it's crazy. And in 1994, this was the shot heard across, and boy, this was, I remember where I was when this happened. Lorena Bobbitt
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
actually goes on trial for practicing surgery without a medical license.
Is that what it was for?
It took me a long time to write that
I like that. It was good.
because, yeah. And
That's essentially what she did.
that story unfolded,
It's not all that
And
unfolded.
John Wayne was John Wayne Bobbitt, her husband, who woke up really surprised
Yeah.
a few months earlier. She left.
He was a
their-
philanderer, wasn't he?
Sure.
That's why she did it.
Yeah. Well, she took
His manhood?
John's appendage with her, went for a drive, chucked
Threw
it
it
out
out
a
the window.
window.
Yeah.
I remember this.
A police dog found it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And they reattached it.
Yes, and yes, John, it was a wiener dog.
And he went on to have a very successful career
Well, we all did.
with that reattachment.
Oh, I just that whole thing. Good times, guys. Good times.
Oh,
I say
okay.
good for her. Did she end up going to prison for that?
No,
No.
I don't think she did time for that.
Did she really just walk on that? I don't think she did.
Yeah, what?
She had to go to jail, didn't she?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
Now I got you're doing the history.
Well,
You
I'm
don't
I remember
sure-
all the details,
I'm
but
sure
not that part.
temporarily they locked her up because, yes. Yes. We might want to look into this a little deeper.
Charged with malicious wounding and pled not guilty by reason of temporary insanity and did not serve prison time.
No.
Oh my god.
No, that I knew.
Served
That's
a brief
amazing.
mandated stint in a psychiatric hospital.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, now that I know there's precedence.
No.
Yeah, you might want to close that tab, John.
But she does feel really, really, really bad.
I'm sure she does.
Or at least rewrite the Wikipedia page.
Why did I Google that?
Because suddenly, Heidi's got a hobby.
Well, the good news is I won't be philandering anytime soon.
I'll be in the kitchen sharpening my knife.
Yikes. All right. Well, gosh, I think we can just kind of
Can we?
leave it right there.
Thanks, Dan.
You bet. I know, we all know way too much, and we can just move ahead.
Can we please? It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It is January 19, 20, 21, and 22. All of the details at snowjamcomedyfest.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. They'll brighten any room with a beautiful light fixture, and we are going to brighten your day right now with some positive news. I've got the Snow Jam Comedy Festival coming your way in just a short while now. It's sneaking right up on the 19th and the 20th and 21st and 22nd. So it'll be here before you know it. And we've got a bunch of funny comedians coming from all over the place. And I have Jenny Lou joining me right now, one of the comics that you're going to see here at the Snow Jam Comedy Festival. Jenny, where are you from?
Oh, I am from all over the United States, but I currently reside in Valley City, North Dakota.
Oh, very cool. So you're actually probably more used to the cold than we are here in South Dakota.
Oh, my stars. Okay, so where I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, Denali National Park, Alaska,
Oh, wow.
Gunnison, Colorado, Salt Lake City, all the coldest spots you'd want to name.
And now you're in North Dakota. How long have you been in North Dakota?
Since 2009, I came here in 2009 as a director of theater for a theater program at a small university here.
That is awesome. And how long have you been performing stand-up comedy?
Oh, my stars. I started a little over 25 years ago at Pierce Street Annex in Anchorage, Alaska. I was an actor doing commercials. There's actually quite a bit of film and television that people don't know about that's being shot in Anchorage and, well, all over the state of Alaska. And so I was an actor, and I had always wanted to do stand-up. And I got a catalog for those adult classes at universities where they say, and I don't know why they call them adult classes because the traditional students are adults too.
Yeah.
But they call them like adult classes. And they're not even, it's not like porn or anything, It's not like adult references, But they call it, the adult classes. And it's that special catalog. So I looked, and they had this course on stand-up comedy. And that same day in the mail, I got a check for like a residual for a commercial that I had shot, and it was the exact same amount. Now, tell me that's not more than coincidence.
That was supposed to be right there.
Oh, exactly. So this woman, Clara Fireball King, out of Texas, who was working for an oil company in Alaska, she had been like with she had been doing comedy, but like not just. She was kind of like a groupie and a comic, and really there are two different things. They really are two different things. But she was kind of both, so she had these incredible stories. about comics that we were just like, wow, this is awesome. She's in. And so she taught this class, and it was comedy classes. I'm not a fan of comedy classes, yet I take them because you can learn. You can learn from anyone. I mean, that's why I'm a professor. You can learn from. If you can learn from me, you can learn from anyone. And so I take these courses, but that was the very first one that I took, and everyone quit the class but me.
Oh.
So she said, yeah. So she said, well, why don't I just go to the comedy club? I had never been to a comedy club. I don't think that was even on my radar. I mean, certainly I knew. I mean, Anchorage is a big city, but not so big that I wasn't aware that Pierce Street existed. But I think I just didn't know you could just go in and do an open mic, and So she took me to an open mic, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. And then I started meeting other comics at Pierce Street. And that was a little over 25 years ago.
Well, I'm glad that you stuck with it, and I'm glad that you enjoy doing it, and I'm super excited to meet you when you get to Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet you, too. I sort of feel like we've met now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you get here, we'll have to get together. I think it'll be fun to chat with you some more. And the Snow Jam Comedy Festival is going to be here before you know it. Have you been to Sioux Falls before?
Oh, indeed.
Nice.
Several times. Actually, I was at Snow Jam in 2017.
Nice.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. And then I've done some other festivals since then. That was the first festival that I had ever done. And I was at the Cleveland Comedy Festival. And this woman that I had run into at different festivals, I overheard her at a table with comics, and she said, oh, the festival you want to do is Snow Jam.
Oh,
it's
nice.
small enough that you get to meet the other comics, you get to know people, they put you up, they take good care of you, and that's the festival that you really want to do.
I'm glad to hear that. That's really cool.
Because here I am in North Dakota, so I'm your closest neighbor, and so I felt kind of like, oh, that's home. Yeah,
that's
that was
really neat.
Cool.
Well, I'm glad to know that in the comedy circles, the Snow Jam Comedy Festival is the one to go to. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, especially at a bigger event. The people are talking about Snow Jam.
That is fantastic. Well, Jenny Lou, I am excited to meet you when you get here. And like I said, nice to chat with you on the phone as well. Yeah,
nice to chat with you. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to the activities with Snow Jam. All of the shows, they have the showcases, but then there are the other shows that have the theme, like That's Debatable, the fun, the games. Fun.
Ton of fun stuff.
I look forward to meeting you and being there.
Absolutely. It's going to be here before you know it. Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It is January 19, 20, 21, and 22. All of the details at snowjamcomedyfest.com.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This is a great quote from Wayne Gretzky and from Michael Scott. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and it's free. Take a shot. We may be able to save you money each and every month. We'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting.
Yeah. It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. And Dan, what do you find interesting on this Monday?
The beginning of this isn't really all that interesting because these kinds of things have been splattered all over the news for months and months and months.
Okay.
I'll get to the interesting part at the end because I think it bears some little discussion here, us all being parents.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Out of St. Paul, my old stomping grounds last week, Isaiah Jamal Foster, 18 years old, total punk. He's from Richfield, but he went into St. Paul and carjacked
Okay.
woman. Now, here's the thing. Violent crimes in the Twin Cities up about 30%.
Yeah.
Carjacking is up over 300% in the last year. I mean, it's just become a craze in the Twin Cities. It's become crazy. Well, law enforcement gets tipped off who did it, and they find little Isaiah. and a couple of his buddies. And turns out Isaiah has an outstanding on him for assaulting a woman as well. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
a win-win.
And so they're doing the report, and people are asking questions like, how'd you catch the guys? Interesting. We got a call from his mother.
Oh, nice.
His mother.
She
now,
turned him in.
although mom doesn't necessarily trust the police, says she wanted to do the right thing. She prayed about it, turned her son in, says, don't get me wrong, I love my son very much, but I didn't raise him to be like that.
Awesome.
Good. Wow. That would be a tough call to make, wouldn't it?
You ever think about this stuff with your kids?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what if, what would you do? What would you do?
Yeah.
I
And
turned
guess-
mine in, both of them.
That's huge.
Or does it depend on the infraction or, da-da-da-da-da? I played it over in my head. For instance, like if my son calls like, Dad, I got a problem here. I say, yeah, what's that? Well, I killed a guy.
Yeah, you'd help him hide the body.
Well, my first question is, did he have it coming?
Right.
Jeez.
Which very few people ever ask.
Right.
Which play that stuff in your head. But here's a woman, and I like the part where she goes, I prayed about it.
Yeah.
And turned him in. I didn't raise him to be like that. So actually she's hoping that.
That it will turn him around.
Yeah,
and get him back on the
Straight
straight and narrow.
And that's the part I found interesting.
I love that.
As soon as got
I
to that part of
also
the
find
report.
that interesting.
Guess who else finds it interesting? Moi.
3 out of 3 radio announcers at Sunny Radio.
We agree.
Yeah,
Dan, you win. It is interesting.
There you go. So, yeah, there's hope. There are glimmers of hope.
We should do that every time when he's done. We should vote on whether we all find it interesting.
Well, yeah, you should, because it's literally titled Things Dan Finds
I know.
which is really subjective.
But we also found that interesting. So good job. Dan, thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It is January 19, 20, 21, and 22. All of the details at snowjamcomedyfest.com.
In the U.S., there are 5 credit cards for every man, woman, and child. That's a lot of credit cards. And sadly, many of those are not great cards. At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer points and perks. Other cards designed to help you build your credit. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, January 10th, 2022. The equities market began to pull back last week and might be headed lower. The reason is rising interest rates and a hawkish Fed that keeps upping the timeline for interest rate hikes. The FOMC minutes revealed the first hike could come by March, and there are indications the pace of hikes could be aggressive. This week, investors will be on the lookout for the CPI, PPI, and Beige Book data. They're all expected to reinforce the need for aggressive rate hiking. The most important data this week may come out Friday, however, in the form of the retail sales figure. The numbers are expected to be positive. The question is, how strong will they be in relation to inflation? With inflation running at high single-digit rates, the retail sales figure will need to come in near 10% for there to be any real growth of activity. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.